Hi, I want to teach you a new expression that will make a lot of sense. My issue, well, one of my issues have been that I don't like the term codependency because a lot of the clients that I talk to, and also for my own life, I have seen me and others be codependent without anyone to be codependent on. Is that the correct one? On? You're codependent on someone? Yes, I think so. So there's no one to be codependent on, but you have the same traits and you have the same behavior, even though you have no addict to be codependent on, or a chronically ill parent or narcissist. You still have the patterns, you still have the behavior of a codependent. But to me, it does not make sense to call people codependent when there's no to be dependent on. And I have thought a lot about this. I found the expression online and I've been mulling it over and reflecting on it, and I'm very thrilled because I think this can replace the word codependent. It is the phrase emotional anorexia or anorexia. Anorexia, you know what that is. That is someone who does not want to give themselves the nutrition, the food, the nourishment that they need to live, to sustain a living. So they starve themselves and they only eat very little and they become very thin, and some of them eat them close to dying because they're withholding food from themselves. Well, this is the same, but it's emotional. Emotional anorexia is when you are withholding emotional, sexual, and spiritual intimacy from yourself. Okay? So this explains why some people have codependent behavior even though there's no addict in their life. They are emotional anorexic. So this makes a lot of sense. So of course, a lot of people out there who have spent most of their life talking about others, thinking about others, taking care of others, being considerate to other people, you will experience this and you will recognize it in yourself that you are an emotional anorexic. And once you find that out, once you see that this is the case, that is a big gift. It's also very sad and maybe shocking and very, very painful. But it is a gift because when you know what the problem is, you can do something about it. You know, if your faucet in the shower is leaking and you don't know what's wrong, you cannot fix it. You have to tear it apart to find out what's wrong with this faucet since it's leaking, so I can fix the problem. Yeah, and it's exactly the same with humans. We need to know what is the problem, otherwise we cannot fix it. So if you are an emotional anorexic, what you are doing is you're putting yourself last, or not putting you on the list of who needs what, who needs something at all, okay? And this is of course something you have to change, because the problem is just with ordinary anorexia, you can die from anorexia, and you can absolutely die from emotional anorexia. If you do not take care of you, you will die. I have seen a lot of clients who are emotional anorexic, and they are being sick from it, physically sick from being emotional anorexics, rectics. So it's crucial that you take responsibility and say, oh, I have been giving all the good emotional and spiritual and sexual nourishment to everybody else. Now I'm going to start giving it to me. So you might wonder, sexual? Why is she talking about sexual? Well, sexual is not just, penetration. Sexual is actually a lot of things, just like emotions are a lot of things, and spirituality is a lot of things, then sexuality is a lot of things. This is a kind of intimacy that borders on sexuality. We all have a sexuality, and we carry it around with us all the time. So you can say that there's not a lot of difference between sexuality and intimacy. Of course, there are some things you don't do just when you're intimate with your friends. There are some things you don't do physically that you would do with a partner, but it's still your sexuality, it's still your intimacy sphere. So that's why I'm just using the word sexuality. You can use intimacy if you want. But for example, when I was younger and hadn't worked with my person of getting rid of all the old stories and all the negative behavior, when I showered, it would be like, just fast to get it over with. And that's not loving enough. You have to start making the shower you take with yourself a really nice experience, for example. That's just one example. To, take your time. Be amazed that you actually have a body. Thank it. Be grateful that you have a body that carries you around, that helps you take in nutrition, that can go to places and have sun and swim in the ocean, or, start appreciating this amazing machine that carries you around. That is the human manifestation. That is your vehicle in this life. So start treating it well, treat it lovingly and give it some love. The same with food. When I was younger, food was something that I just had to deal with. I wasn't really interested in food. I didn't really like it. I grew up in a home where my mom wasn't interested in cooking, and she made horrible food. And so when I grew up, I didn't know how to cook, first of all. And second, I didn't bother. So I just ate 2 pieces of bread, one with cheese and one with chocolate. And that was my meal, morning, noon, and night, because I couldn't be bothered. And of course, that's not very loving. Today, I live 80-90% of vegetables and fruits and berries and nuts and seeds, because I want to give love to me. I want to take good care of me. I was definitely an emotional anorexic when I was younger, not taking care of me, but giving my love and my attention to everybody else, and that has changed. So now I am getting the best nutrition I can, both spiritually and emotionally and physically. I hope this video has given you some help, and feel free to ask questions, and don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button, subscribe, to support this channel, and ask me questions in the comments or write to me if you want to. I will gladly answer any questions you have about this issue. Okay, so take care of you. You're unique. Bye. See you soon again.